San Antonio is one of the most unique cities in the country. The city was once described by the architect of New York's Central Park as having a, quote, jumble of races, costumes, languages, and buildings, which to me makes San Antonio sound all the more intriguing. In this series, I briefly touch on a city's history, population, skyline, as well as a few things that make it unique. Now let's meet San Antonio. I always like to start by exploring how a city wound up being where it is today. The site of San Antonio was once a settlement of the Paella people, which was discovered by Spanish explorers in 1691. 27 years following that discovery, the Spanish established the mission San Antonio de Valero, later called the Alamo, which I'll talk more about later in this video. Spain sent 10 families from the Canary Islands in 1731, which became some of the first settlers of the area. San Antonio would go on to experience two revolutions. The first was when Mexico became independent of Spain in 1821, and the second is when Texas declared itself independent from Mexico in 1836. After Texas became an independent republic, the city grew significantly due to the influx of many immigrants, especially from Germany. And just like other cities in Texas, the arrival of railroads led to tremendous growth for San Antonio. Today, San Antonio is considered the 7th largest city in the country with a population of approximately 1,581,000 people. That makes it the 2nd largest city in Texas following Houston. I tend to prefer to look at the metro area population to evaluate a city's true size, and when you do that, San Antonio anchors the 26th largest metro area in the country, which is a significant discrepancy from the population ranking. For context, San Antonio has a metro population of about 2,558,000, while Dallas and Houston both have over 7 million people in their larger metros. San Antonio is one of the fastest growing large cities in the country, however. San Antonio is also considered the largest majority Hispanic city in the country. Some of the largest employers in the area are the military and USAA. Call me shallow, but when it comes to cities, I think appearances matter, which is why evaluating a city's skyline is usually my favorite part of these videos. San Antonio's skyline, however, just doesn't really do it for me. The buildings are too short and spread out to give the skyline much of a shape. If you took the average height of the tallest 5 buildings in the city, San Antonio would be ranked as the 40th tallest skyline, which would be just below Louisville, Kentucky, and ahead of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The tallest and most defining structure in the city is the 750-foot tall Tower of the Americas. It's the 2nd tallest observation tower in the U.S. behind the Stratosphere of Las Vegas. The tallest building is the Marriott River Center, which is one of the tallest hotels in Texas, standing at 546 feet. Whatever San Antonio lacks as far as its cityscape goes, it makes up for with its incredible Riverwalk. The San Antonio Riverwalk is about 15 miles long and is flanked by a walking path on either side. It's about 14 feet below street level, making it so you never have to cross a street while walking along it. It is the most visited and highest rated tourist attraction in the entire state of Texas. It connects the city and is one of the most respected public spaces in the United States. The site or building that most people probably think of first when thinking about San Antonio is the Alamo. As I mentioned earlier, the Alamo is part of the original Spanish mission, but it became famous because of what occurred there during the Texas Revolution. In 1836, the Texans in the Alamo were under siege for 13 days, and on the 13th day, the Battle of the Alamo broke out, where all of the defenders of the Alamo died. Those who died were considered martyrs in the cause for Texas independence, and Remember the Alamo became a rallying cry which helped the Texans eventually win the war. Related to the Alamo is the San Antonio Missions National Historic Park, which includes 4 other Spanish missions. The park, along with the Alamo, were designated by the UN as a World Heritage Site. San Antonio is home to one of the most amazing historic theaters in the country. The Majestic Theater seats over 2,200 people and is designated as a National Historic Landmark. And lastly, San Antonio lays claim to the world's largest cowboy boots, which stand at 35 feet tall and are 33 feet long. Well, that wraps up my video about San Antonio. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and check out some of my other videos about cities. Thanks for watching.